Fam, today we are talking boobies, as you can see. So we're gonna explain exactly how to get rid of your man boobs. A lot of people struggle with this, and a lot of people just approach it the absolute wrong way. All right. So as you can see, now I don't have as good a chest as my older brother. My older brother has a huge upper chest. I do work primarily upper chest for literally the past 5 years. But as you can see here, people were thinking I had gyno. Looks like I have titties, as you can see. And then here you see it's more defined and it's more upright and it looks better. So speaking from experience here, so if you really struggle with your man tits, your man boobs, and you really want to get rid of it, let's lock in, take some notes, and then apply everything that I say. And you should be at your goals within a reasonable amount of time, not one day, not 1 week. It does take time. But when you put in the consistency and you put in the right formula, you will get the results you desire. All right, so gyno versus man boobs. A lot of people think they have gyno, but in reality, they have just man boobs, just a high percentage of body fat, and um, it's not actual gyno, so that's good news. So a lot of you guys self-diagnose yourself with gyno and say, you have the black pill mentality. You're like, well, it's over. There's no hope. I just have gyno. I can't get rid of this. Blah 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 blah. You guys do that a lot. So in reality, a lot of times you just have excess fat, and it's just being stored because that's what excess fat does. All right. Now the good news is, like I just said, you probably just have excess fat, not gyno. All right. So stay positive and lock in. Let's get it. So this is going to be the number one issue majority of the time. Obviously, you have to build muscle to get a good chest, but a lot of times you just have a high body fat percentage. Like here, my body fat percentage is probably closer to 20. A lot of you guys are like 30 plus, 40 plus. So obviously, when you have that much fat, a lot of it's going to be stored in your lower chest, guys. It's literally going to get stored in your lower chest. Like when people come up to me, they're like even when I was taking these pictures or when I go shirtless at Planet Fitness or whatever, people come up to me like, "How you get your chest like that? How you get this like that?" Like in reality, like they'll be like, "Hey, I have man boobs. How do you get your chest like that, man? I wear jackets because I got man boobs." And in reality, I'm like, "Hey, man, how's your nutrition? Right? Their nutrition's not good. They're not consistent in the gym, so they can't really lower their body fat in that how they want to, because you need to lower your body fat if you want to get rid of your man boobs. That's one of the main things. A lot of times it's just excess fat which appears as breast tissue, guys. Like that's what you have to focus on. You have to get to a low enough body fat percentage. If you're 25% body fat, there is 100% chance you're going to have more man boobs than if you were at 15 to 10%, right? Like, let's just be honest. So, for a lot of you guys who've been lifting for a decent amount of time, or you lift a little bit here and there, and you have man tits, if you reduce your body fat percentage, you will lose, fat everywhere, some belly fat, but you also lose lower chest fat because that's one of the areas where we really, really start to store fat. For me personally, as I leaned out, my posture got better because I'm carrying less body fat too. So I'm carrying less body fat, so I'm more upright. So then my chest sits higher too. Then my shoulders are more capped. So then that also makes my chest look better. And I was only working pretty much upper chest. All right. So like I said, nutrition is super important, right? So let's start right here at the bottom. Eat more eggs, red meat, butter, chicken, ground turkey, beef. Why? Because these have healthy fats, and healthy fats have healthy cholesterols, and healthy cholesterol makes sure that your testosterone is high. And when your testosterone is high, your estrogen isn't as high, right? Testosterone boosting foods will help. Avoid soy and highly processed foods, like especially sugary foods. They increase inflammation, they increase insulin resistance and fat, and that's going to increase your estrogen levels. When you have higher estrogen levels, what happens? You get titties, right? You have more breast tissue, you have more lower chest fat. That's, like I said, where we store a majority of our fat. And also, when you're in a deficit, of course, we'll get into the lifting soon, but make sure you are eating high protein. All right, make sure you're eating high protein so you can maintain any muscle mass that you have gained while you're bulking, right? All right, so what should your workouts look like? What should your workouts look like? So, if you have man boobs, stop doing decline bench and only flat bench. Like you want to prioritize your upper chest. So, and I also want to get into this before you even hit your chest, you need to be pre-exhausting it. So you could be doing low to high cable flies, or you can be doing pec deck. I like to do pec deck or push-ups just to get blood flow into my chest, or you can do warm-up sets of the movement. Like if I do incline sprint machine first, I'm gonna do my two first sets with like 20 reps just to get blood flow there. Once I get blood flow in the chest, then I'll get into the other four sets. So my workouts look like pyramiding. It'll be like 6 sets of 20 reps. The first two sets will be 20 reps on Smith machine, but that's really just getting blood into my chest. And then the next few sets is like really the hypertrophy sets. All right. So it's very, very important to get some blood flow in there first. So if you start on incline dumbbell, you can do that, but just do like 2 sets really light and just get some blood flow in your chest before you actually start hitting it. so you don't just feel your shoulders and your triceps and rotator cuff. All right, very very important. And yeah, decline bench. There's not a lot of people who need to do decline bench. Some bodybuilders because they have such a big upper chest and big shoulders that they need a bigger lower chest. But most average people do not, like non-steroid taking average people do not need decline bench, like for the most part. Flat bench with dumbbells is enough to build like your outer and lower chest, like muscular wise. But doing your incline swing machine progressively overloading there, incline dumbbell progressively overloading there, incline barbell, incline hammer strength machines, and really focusing on those in your workouts are going to be very, very, very important. All right. Now, like I said, of course, you want muscles in your lower chest too. So when you do lose the fat, you have muscle under it. So dips are pretty awesome for that. And then also flat dumbbell press as well. All right, so this is like a push day, nothing crazy. This is pretty much what I just described. This is like a push day, guys. So I like to warm up with dips and pull-ups. I don't really count this, but I know you guys would be like, "Wait, do you do dips and pull-ups?" So yeah, here's dips and pull-ups. I spelled pull-ups wrong. That's embarrassing. What the hell? But I'll do. I lightened up the sets for you guys, so you guys are like, "This is not too many reps." What the fuck? So three sets of 15 dips and 15 pull-ups. It's probably still a lot for a lot of you guys. I'll do either 4 to 5 sets of 10 to 12 ish sometimes, and then pec deck just to get some blood flow, like get some good blood flow in my chest. Like I said, if I don't do this, if this is not available, I'll just go to the incline barbell and I put like a 25 on each side and do 2 sets of like 15 or something like that, right? Then I do 4 sets of 68 on incline barbell. Then I go in the swing machine, these warm up sets, and then I do 4 sets of 10 and 2 sets of 6. I know that's a lot, but incline swing machine gives me a lot of blood flow in my chest, guys. This looks like high volume, but listen, this is kind of 2 warm up sets. This is pretty much a warm up. I'm not going crazy intense on this. The incline barbell I'm going intense on, and the incline dumbbell I'm going intense on. And then this right here is just to cap out the delts. I always do some sort of side raises on push days. So yeah, threw that in there as well. If you do this workout, you will see some results, obviously, just from doing this. So yeah, widening your back and shoulders will also make your chest look more aesthetic because if you have a lot of chest fat and then obviously your shoulders get wider and your back gets wider, it'll kind of flatten out your chest, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but it fucking works, so shut up. All right, patience and consistency. So let me explain to you the reason you have man boobs in the first place. Like I said, you have increased insulin resistance, you have increased estrogen output is because this is what you're eating the majority of the time. You're playing Roblox, you're playing all those. I don't know what the games are called. Final Fantasy. You're playing those games 24/7, eating fries, door dashing, eating Skittles, eating candy, eating chocolate bars, muffins. Your mom brings you muffins, when you take a break from playing Skyrim, right? And that's why you have titties. So be consistent with the incline bench, progressively overload. Don't expect shit in one day, 1 week, 1 month. Take your time, right? It doesn't take you 1 second to get good at a video game, right? Same shit. It takes time. All right, so in summary, like I said, this isn't a crazy long video, but eat in a high protein calorie deficit, prioritize working your upper chest, avoid processed foods, lower your body fat percentage overall, be consistent, and be patient, guys. Be patient. Now, one thing I forgot to say. How do I go back? All right, so when it comes to push days, I have different push days as well. It's not the only one I have, but when it comes to push days, if you hit your chest twice a week, like you do push pull legs, then that's really going to help too. Like if that's one of the areas you want to prioritize, and then you also got to realize, like I said, once you get to, if you're benching, if you're like incline benching just the bar, you know, and then 3 months later you're doing a 25 on each side, you'll make a little bit of progress, but you're not going to have a massive upper chest by just going up by that much. So eventually, once you progressively overload, your intensity is higher, and you're bench pressing on the incline like 155, 185, and you started at just a bar. You'll start to see the improvements. Granted that your nutrition is on point and you're in a calorie deficit and you're eating high protein. All right, make sense? All right, so link will be in the description for training. Hope you'll have a blessed day. Let's get rid of these titties.